staff of practitioners down on Phoenix.
Hi.
Good morning.
Welcome to Mondays with
Beth.
and Paul. Man, this is really getting to be a production, I'll tell you folks.
Wow.
We're getting it down, we're getting the lighting down, the sound down, and still it doesn't work half the time.
It's fun though.
But we have a good time, yes.
do.
So we want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah,
Yep, that's coming up this weekend.
it is.
And people have been asking me all the time, well, how often does Hanukkah start on Christmas Eve? And I found out
Yeah,
it's done it 4 times in the past 100 years.
100 years
Yeah.
where the two calendars.
When the two calendars meet, yeah, because a lot of people also ask me, well, why is Hanukkah always at a different time?
Right.
So just for a little information, the Jewish calendar works on the lunar calendar.
Yep.
So it works on a 28-day cycle instead of the 30-31 cycle of the solar calendar.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why.
So,
Yeah.
so it always falls in a different time, and 4 times in the last 100 years, Hanukkah and Christmas have been together.
Wow.
So a lot of light coming into this darkness of the seasons, where it's also the shortest day of the year this week. When is that?
That's on Wednesday.
Happy Solstice, too.
Oh, the winter solstice. Yeah.
Real powerful time, isn't it?
Very,
Yeah.
very powerful time.
How powerful?
Very. All over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is the shortest day of the year,
Yeah.
and it's when we'll start to come back to the light.
Yes, yeah. The sun is at its deepest. We withdraw within, and then preparing for the seeds of the spring.
Okay, and we have lots of preparation here today. We have our DreamCatcher first.
Yeah.
Tell us about the DreamCatcher again.
Oh, yes, the Lorraine Mills. It was her vision, global project, 2011-2012 DreamCatcher project. Just bringing together from the corners of actually 5 different directions, people contributing to this. It's beautiful, and we get to be the keepers of it
We
right
get to
now.
be the keepers,
Yeah.
and every week we put someone new into the center, and
We
this
do.
week we have... There she is,
There she
Carol Jagiello. Carol Jagiello from Bloomingdale, New York. And the
Yes.
reason we have the butterflies, she didn't have a picture.
She doesn't have a picture.
And she is our first person to actually send in her name to be into the circle. And so she's from New Jersey, Bloomingdale, New Jersey.
So outside of the Tucson area.
Outside the Tucson
That's
area. So if you'd like to be in the
wonderful.
center, please send us a name. If you don't have a picture, and a picture will put you in the center.
Absolutely.
Interesting about the history of her name, Jagiello. I had to look it up a lot to how to say it.
Right.
It's actually was a king in Poland, the king of Poland, back in, what they say, 1377.
Yeah, Lithuania and Poland.
So she has quite a
Wow.
lineage to her name.
She really does.
So
It's
Carol Jagiello
interesting.
from Bloomingdale, New Jersey.
Jersey.
We're glad to have you be part of our
welcome
circle.
to this,
Yes.
to the center.
And so in our center, I read your blog.
Oh, my
And so
blog.
did a lot of other people. If you haven't read the blog, go online and check into the blog. It's at the bottom of our website. And it inspired me. We'll talk a little about it too, but it inspired me to want to share with people part of our book called The Dilemma. It's right in the beginning. You've always really liked it.
I really have. It
Yeah.
just always, I don't know, touched me in some way.
So we're going to read it, and we're going to show it to you on there, and then we're going to talk a little about your blog. How's that?
Okay. Sounds good.
All around to the
You
sun.
want that.
Yes, we do.
So, to laugh is to risk appearing a fool, to weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk rejection. To place your dreams before the crowd is to risk ridicule. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To go forward in the face of overwhelming odds is to risk failure.
But risks must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing.
He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or love.
And changed by his certitudes, he is a slave. He has forfeited his freedom.
Only a person who takes risks is free.
That just has always touched me because, I think about all of us. In many ways, fear takes over our lives, and we don't allow ourselves to participate in life with a capital L. It's in that fear. First of all, what happens is we imagine that we're separated.
Right.
And we all not just contribute but share that life together. And so when I read this dilemma, it's very powerful for me because I guess it goes with the theme of what our monthly theme is in the blog I wrote, because when we are not risking ourselves to love, then we are forfeiting our ability to receive. There's always been this, it's better to give than receive type of thought form,
right.
And that's been part of the problem, because in love and in a relationship, it's equal. So we've always, in that fear and that sense of being separated from each other, that whole concept has been allowed to permeate our minds and how we think about each other and ourselves.
And that's what was nice about your blog. It just sort of gave people that opportunity to see that the giving, that's how we receive it, and actually we're receiving it as we give it, and we're giving it, what is it I talked about last week, and I sort of put it in my blog coming up. It unlocks the gift within us that we can just give it away.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it is a new kind of dialogue, isn't it?
It's a new dialogue, and like I say in my blog, it's not just about a new dialogue about what giving and receiving is. It's a new dialogue within ourselves, asking how am I a giver and a receiver? So it's changing those paradigms and breaking down the barriers. And the one thing that I really wanted to give in that blog is in connection with BioTouch, and why I feel like it's so powerful is because the divine idea of love itself, in that touch of BioTouch, it is an application of that. I truly believe that. And what happens is when you touch another, that divine idea can be transferred physically in that touch. And as you say, it just unlocks both the giver and the receiver into a perfect relationship of equality. Right. And that's what happens in love.
And it's just done with these two fingers.
Yep.
Yep. Especially just, putting it, at that very powerful point just below the breastbone. I mean, even Gary Schwartz talked about that in his book, that the book is about that giving the gift of love back to humanity.
Absolutely.
And
oh yeah.
And so we're grateful to have this technique.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, because when we talk about it being a gift, what we're really saying is it's already there.
Right.
It's already innate in every single one of us. We're just, all we have to do, I think that's why I love BioTouch. It unlocks that ability to just, whatever's already there within us.
And that's the risk. That's why we put the dilemma in the beginning of our manual, because it's just a risk of taking a chance, stepping out there, and what you find out is, as you're giving it, it is accepted. It's just letting ourselves be loved, trusting that we're loved. And in that moment, as you wrote in your blog too, it's even just a momentary thing.
Yeah.
So try it.
Yeah.
Just
take a risk and let yourself be loved.
For the holidays.
I love that.
Just
give yourself a gift for
give
the holidays. Lovely.
Reach out and touch a loved one today.
Yeah.
And so we always want to share some more points every week. So we're going to share some of the upper abdomen points. And we're not going to show the whole thing. It's about 4 minutes long,
Yeah.
and we know that our attention span on these little webcasts aren't very long.
All right. We're just going to tease you with the...
Right. We're going to tease you with the first minute
Yeah.
of the video.
Right.
And this is from our manual, and we're going to show you the upper abdomen for all those times of eating a little too much for this holiday. So
What a
here we
great
go.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
The upper abdomen set may be used to address conditions related to the organs that are located between the bottom of the breastbone and the navel. These organs may include the stomach, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines, or gallbladder. Generally, the procedure is performed while the recipient is lying on their back. The upper abdomen has 4 steps. Step 1. With one hand, hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. This is the same as greeting point 1. With the other hand, touch points 1 through 5. Point 1 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve outward. Point 2 is the same point on the opposite side of the body. Point 3 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve to the side. Point 4 is the same point on the opposite side. Point 5 is just above the navel. Step 2. With the palm open and flat, slide the entire hand under the recipient.
You know, I'm telling you, we could probably present this manual, just the video, as a meditation technique. I mean,
I know. And
just
I watched,
watching it, even without the words, it's just
It's
this.
true.
It's a dance.
It's
There's
true.
this dance with the fingers. So what you got was the first step of 4 steps
4 steps.
of the upper abdomen to help with digestive issues,
Oh, my goodness.
colon issues,
Anything in that area,
hiatal
huh?
hernias,
Mhm.
liver, spleen, pancreas, any
Kidneys.
kind of kidneys, that whole area. The next part, so those first points, they're just done in different ways. She did it with a whole point. As you notice, she was going to start to move her hand underneath while she did all those points again, and then she was just going to do the points together. But even if all you knew was that first step and you just touched a few sets of points in that area, did some sweeps.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All those enhancements that you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I learned a long time ago about BioTouch, and I when we have our classes and we go into those session rooms and people seem, you know, sometimes they get overwhelmed. I'm like, you know what? It's really amazing why we can say it's simple. Within each set, there are specific points. And what you're doing is you're just touching them in different ways, but you're not adding new points all the time. You're just touching the same ones. It makes it so easy.
So easy.
I mean, it's great.
So we, to make it easier for people, I remember we had an interview from a guy in New York. He said, well, you tell me it's easy, but I've got the manual in front of me. It's 17 sets of points and 48 pages. What's so simple about it?
Yeah, right.
And all of a sudden, it's like, well, it's not very simple, I guess, because we know that you don't have to do all the points for a problem.
Right. Oh,
But what we realized is the public doesn't know that.
public doesn't know that, do
So
they?
that's the purpose of these little every week on Mondays with Bev and Paul. And also we're doing workshops now.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, those workshops came from that experience you had with
Right.
him.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we have a workshop this week, this Thursday at 6 o'clock here at the Tucson Center.
Yep.
And we make up little workbooks. So what we do is we take the whole manual and we break out pieces. And we make little workbooks that are only maybe 10 pages long. And this week we're doing flus and colds. So if you want to learn how to work with flus and colds and you live in Tucson, come to the center, 6 o'clock on Thursday. It's only $15 or $10 for members. But there's also a way to download the ebook version of that workbook
Yes.
if you're a member. So just become a member and you can actually download all the past
All of them.
workbooks. And the nice thing about the ebook is it has the sets of points and then it also has a link to that part of the video.
Right.
So it's just right there, whether
Oh.
it's on your phone, your tablet, the computer, So it's really easy to learn, and all you have to do is follow it. Stop, practice the points.
It's so, I love
Bullet
it. It's
points
very
and-
interactive, and it's,
So if we can make it easier for you, you just have to contact us. We can also take you through it over a telephone, through a Skype. You can take our correspondence course or just ask us about helping you with a particular problem.
We're always here for that, aren't we?
So we have a week left for the gift of love people can still get.
Oh, the membership.
Yes, tell us.
Well, my thought when I, give the gift of love, it's when you give somebody a membership, it's not so much that, they are, maybe they don't even live here. But so why would you give them a gift of membership? Well, for one thing, it allows them, you're giving them the gift and the opportunity to share in something that is a great thought form, for one thing. It's all about love, and they can step out of, just where they are and join really a global revolution. Just be a part of it and contribute it. And they're contributing, actually, just by being a member, to all of the wonderful opportunities for everyone to share in our giving the gift of BioTouch, whether that is offering on a donation basis our sessions. Well, you can go onto our website, you can download anything you want, the manual for $18. So for me, $18 can change your life and the life of someone you care about.
Right. And support this getting around the world.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
And that's the giving. Imagine a globe of people touching one another so lightly that you can't help but break down the barrier.
Oh.
You don't even, it's like we've said, you don't have to like the person you're working on. You could have all kinds of judgments. You could be pissed off at this political decision or this social economic problem. Yeah. But when you do that touching, even whatever my mind thinks it's thinking,
right,
it disappears. Healing can happen regardless of what my crazy mind's thinking about, and that's a powerful technique.
That's powerful.
You don't have to put yourself in a perfect state and all loving kind, because how can you put yourself to someplace you already are?
Well, see, that's the whole thing, and that's why we say that BioTouch is a gift of love, because it unlocks who we are. And we are just love.
Right.
We're all just love. And it's a powerful tool for your life and for the lives of anybody that comes into your sphere of influence.
So please join us.
Yeah.
We would love to have you join us.
Absolutely.
And the joining is just reach out, touch somebody lightly, and that's all it takes.
I know.
And then let us know how it works. Send us your testimonials, send us your questions. If you'd like us to address anything on these Mondays with Bev and Paul, send us an email, give us a call.
Love to do that.
Go to our website, justtouch.com, and we just love doing this. So we only have one more this year.
We
One
do,
more
don't
presentation will be next Monday, day after Christmas. So looks like we've done another happy day on Monday. So
I know. It goes quickly, doesn't it?
Does. So my name's Paul.
And I'm Bev.
And we want to wish you a very, very happy holiday season, whatever it is you celebrate.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you all next week.
Yes, have a glorious week,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
From all around to the sun, they come here